Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. We can see that Bitcoin is having a positive move to the upside. And obviously that is being reflected in the altcoin market. Although for the week, we still haven't yet recovered. Many of them are still well in the red. Since the 5th of May, it's been at level 4 and it doesn't move from there. The fear and greed index is in a perfect 50%, but it's bouncing right where it should, to be able to keep forming this ascending channel just the way it has been doing it when it's building up in previous rallies or bull markets. Total 3, even though we are seeing lots of green, we still don't see enough power to flip back into super trend buy. But on the ETH RSI channel, we're getting an early entry, which I'm not taking necessarily very seriously yet, because we have had a couple of fake outs as well. And the better RSI indicator also gave a sell during Sunday. We said last week that Bitcoin dominance was risking to lose this ascending channel, which could flag the potential for an altcoin season. But right now it's regaining the trend line as support, and although it's struggling, kind of pending from a thread between entering full-on Bitcoin season versus altcoin season. So we need to keep monitoring this to be more convinced on which direction we are going. Now, if we look at the liquidity, the 3 months liquidity, it's impressive that we made all this move to the downside. There was a massive week of buying pressure that didn't allow the market maker to take all the liquidity that was left just above 25K. 22.6 is still there, is packed with liquidity, much more than we can see to the upside, at least for the 3 months time frame. If we look at the 1 month, we can see that it's turning much more easy to push the price to the upside and potentially to chase that just above 30K liquidity. And on the 7 day, we see that there is liquidity up until 28.4 for a quick swing trade to the upside. In terms of fair value gaps, we left one fair value gap above the price at 28.3. We have all the leftover that we saw in Hyperblock Capital, starting from 25.8 in this case. And it's just impressive how this got bought up. Massive week to the downside with all this vacuum of liquidity there. I find incredible that it didn't fall all the way to the support at 25.2. And that is signaling that the bulls are ready to step in at these levels. And that is the reason we are seeing now this green candle. RSI on the 4 hour, we flagged this entry right there on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, make sure you do. That's where you're gonna get all the time sensitive alerts. During the weekend, it was really difficult to trade the 1 hour time frame, but the 4 hour gave us the hint and the retest above the dotted line, and that pushed the price to the final breakout that I wanted to see. During the weekend, we left a CME gap starting from 26.7 to 26.5. We still have one at 29.1, and our lower CME gap, the most scary one, is at 21, and at the top at 34.4. A quick update on leverage squeeze. We started getting signals all the way from 27.6. You can see how many signals are coming up here from leverage squeeze. The last one was at 26.3. If you look at this channel of the open interest, you're going to notice one thing. The open interest has been fluctuating between the top and bottom of this channel all the way to the upside. And what that means is that more positions are being open. Since the price from here to here is coming down, we can infer that there are more and more shorts opening as we are going down. And each of these local resets are not enough to reset those shorts. You can see here, for example, that the price bounces about 3%, and when it does that, the open interest resets to the bottom of the channel, but it doesn't reset fully to this horizontal level right there. If we saw a full short squeeze, the open interest should move all the way from here, technically, to the bottom of this open interest located at 90K. If the open interest does that, it means that all the shorts are out of the market. Obviously, there might be a gap around here because new long positions are going to also enter the amount of open interest. Remember that open interest is the combination of all the longs and shorts using leverage in the market. And since 12th of May, the open interest is not moving in any direction. What that is telling me is that there is a competition right now of long versus shorts, and only one of them is going to win. And whenever that happens, the open interest is going to drop massively. And I'm talking way below the yellow line at the bottom. If you want to join TTP and get access to all this information, scripts, bot assistant, and all the power tools to manage all the bots, just have a look at the description. I have a link at the top where you can become a member. The second link can allow you to become a member for free. You're going to find all the instructions using, and depending on the amount of volume that you trade on OKX, you're going to be able to get your subscription for free. Have a look at all the discounts as well. Those are my favorite services in crypto. Most of them are going to give you either the best bonuses or discounts, lower fees, which are really important for bot trading. Most of the people in crypto Twitter and in general in social networks right now are kind of switching to bullish right now. And the narrative now is this bounce from the daily MA and EMAs. To be honest, this candle right there, this massive wick to the downside, followed by a green candle, is what's making most of the people very bullish. Right now, we are confronting the weekly 100 EMA, which coincides with this head and shoulders. We really need to get above this line to fully invalidate the head and shoulders. And I will anticipate that if we manage to get above that and hold it, given the amount of open interest that we have in this channel and leverage squeeze performance, usually at times where there is so many shorts, we should start seeing major liquidation and a potential move to 30K. A rejection at this point will definitely save the day for the shorts that probably right now are completely stressed about this move to the upside. This is actually the breakout of the head and shoulder. The target is still 24 for me. We didn't reach it. There was massive buying pressure right there. But to be honest, instead of this EMA, I'm more interested to reconquer this line right here. And the reason is because it's been respected for so long that not being above that is a recipe for disaster, and it will definitely confirm that we're going to do some lower lows in the upcoming weeks. In terms of how healthy the network is, I can see that we are entering bear territory right here. And at least from the perspective of the number of unique addresses in the network, every time that the monthly is below the yearly, we enter bear market. We can only allow ourselves to flip slightly below the yearly just for a few days, but we need to go back above very quickly. And at the moment, you can see how this dump really heavy, and the only thing that is holding it is this trend line. I think if we break this trend line to the downside, is really bad news for the upcoming months. That is the last line in the sand. The active address sentiment oscillator is still below this trend line, and the channel now, instead of pointing to the upside, is pointing to the downside. So we need that to go back above and show us that that was just a small fake out. In terms of long and shorts, we can see that the shorts were getting really cocky, going up and up and up until the weekend. During the weekend, we are seeing a massive drop in terms of shorts. The longs are starting to show some strength here going to the upside, but definitely there's a lot to do. And if we apply RSI to the same data, all these areas here when we see a small downside and then a recovery are coinciding with areas where we see reversal in the price. So this last one here is also coming back up from the very bottom and coming really strongly to the upside. We already crossed 30, so that could mean that the bulls are back in control at least until we reach this level right here. And that could send us back again. But definitely what I'm seeing is that since we started this bear market rally around December, you can see how each of these highs are coming lower and lower. And what that means is that as the time passes, there is less control of the bulls. In other words, the beginning was really strong power from the bulls. All the shorts were getting liquidated. And then the next impulsive move from 20 to around 30 was not as powerful as the one that we did from 17 to 24. And the same goes with the last move to 30 something. So the higher we go in this bear market rally, there are more bears in control. I think from where we are, we can definitely get to the top of this triangle again and even get to 31. But if we want to break above this triangle, we need to prove the point that we are back in bull market. In other words, we need to cross 30K. Crossing 30K is going to leave all the shorts completely devastated, and it's going to send the word out that we might experience a rally up until 50K or something, and people are going to fear missing out that definitely. So here is the big boss, and the main reason people are getting scared and they're starting to short is because everybody knows how tough it is to cross this line right here. And they feel more confident doing shorts because that's pretty much what has been working for longer than a year. You can short anywhere here and you make money the same way that you can long anywhere here and you make money. Right now, we're kind of halfway through in between these two states. And the more we get close to the toughest level, which is this one, the shorts are starting to feel more confident. And that is what is shown in this chart right here. Now, one of the reasons why Bitcoin right now is making a move to the upside is because the DXY is finding resistance at this line that I left right here, which is the 102.5. To be honest, I was expecting it to at least get to 103, but after such a massive green candle, it's normal to see some pullback. I insist, in order for us to get really cocky with doing holding, we need to see the DXY break down below 101. We can definitely do some swings whenever we hit one of these levels and we come down. That could provide some momentum to the upside for Bitcoin, but I think the long-term holding dream becomes a reality as long as we can break down below 100 in the DXY. Now, if we look at the weekly RSI, if we want Bitcoin to continue to the upside, to conquer 30K and 40K, RSI weekly is doing precisely what is needed. It hasn't broken below 50, so we are still above 55. It has reset from 70 to 55, that's a move of 15 in the RSI. A little bit of sideways move in the price could give the RSI enough time to accumulate energy to be able to conquer now this level, the 70. When we were right here, we were saying we are at 51. This is a pretty dangerous place to be because we are doing a lower low, but definitely what we needed to do is to conquer these two tops and do a higher high. Well, right now we are in a similar position. We are below this area right there, so this is kind of breaking structure, but nothing can neglect that from here we could definitely do a higher high and reach a level above 70. And if we look at the reverse RSI, doing a level from 70 to 73 will take Bitcoin from 34.7 to 37.7. So any move of the weekly RSI up this high will take us there. But to be more realistic, I think we're going to end up doing something like this with lower lows. That is just an opinion, not a forecast. CPR has very good news. The CPR monthly, we managed to conquer back the first support. It took us a few days battling with it, but we are now above it. The next move should be to confirm 27.1 as a support for a potential move to the pivots. The pivots, they are starting from 29K. Now, since the price is below the CPR, it's going to be pretty tough to break these levels. But since we have all this accumulation of open interest to the upside, there is a chance that we can break it. All we need is a cascade of short liquidations. If we lose the 27.1, then the likelihood of visiting 25K becomes almost 100%. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments what you think is next for Bitcoin. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.